out there. This is Gavin, and I am here with my man Henson.
Hello.
And for the last time in 2022, we are going to kick this episode off with a giant shout out and thank you to our Patreon. If joining the Patreon is something you might be interested in the new year, I strongly recommend you go to patreon.com/The Holy Hour Podcast.
Definitely.
And you can be part of the action. And we really had a great year over at the Patreon, even though I feel like they got a little neglected once the tour started because I was throwing every little minute at the tour info. So we'll get back to lots of exclusive material just for you guys in the new year. And let's read that list. How about that, Henson?
All right.
You got it?
Yeah, so we got Donna, Craig, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Jones, Sue, Ben, John, Allison, Alan, Dione, Nemecio, Danny, Coulter, Matt Ford, Tom, and Hector.
Hector. Welcome, Hector. And of course, Dana is also part of that club, and she's a motion designer and animator, and you should totally check out her work at graphics.tv. That's graphics with an X.tv. There you can see some of her superb talent and work, and you can also reach out to her. And if you're in need of an animator or motion designer to promote your business or project, so go check out her motion graphics reel at graphics.tv. Scott, of course, is the co-host of the Sarlacc Digest, the All-Star Wars podcast, and you can watch all of him and his crew, and they do their live shows every Wednesday night on YouTube at 8 p.m. Pacific time, or get the replays everywhere you listen to podcasts. Each week, they bring you quality line talk and dive deeper into all things Star Wars. Da-da-da-dum. Lisa says check out DickensYYC.com. There you'll find out all the upcoming shows for Canada's hottest nightclub. Matt suggests you check out the Red Cross Blood Donor app. It's free and easy to use. Find a location and schedule an appointment. Donate some blood with the Red Cross Blood Donor app. What do you say, Henson, this holiday season? You ready?
No.
Ah, you're still not going for it.
No.
One of these times we'll get you.
Said finally.
You'll be like, fine, let's do it. Christmas Day. What do you say?
No.
Take the whole family. And our friend Kate at Cure Threads wanted us to get the word out about her Cure Fan Art Challenge that she and some other creative people are still running. It goes until January 31st, so it's not too late. Go check it out. Continue to submit your original artwork of any medium that's inspired by the 5 new Cure songs that debuted on the tour. So you take one of those songs and you just let the creative juices flow and you create some art based on one of those songs. And all you gotta do is hashtag Artist of a Lost World on Instagram. And you can also subscribe to that hashtag so you can check out everyone else's work. Like I said, it goes till January 31st, so keep the fun rolling. And if you want to get more scoop, go to Kate's Instagram page, Forget About Stars, or curethreads.com, and you'll find out more there. And of course, 17-second shirts, Chaz's website, where he's cranking out all the coolest and unique Cure designs just for you guys. So go on over to 17secondshirts.bigcartel.com and keep your eyes peeled, or follow him on Instagram. That's probably the best way. 17__ seconds. And then you won't miss out. All right, we're going to jump in to the final episode of the year.
Ooh.
Was it a good Cure year?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, big tour.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of Wish reissues.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me, Antonio, and Chaz are going to hash it all out right now. So you want to listen? You want to sit down and get comfortable?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right, buckle up, everybody. We're recapping 2022. Thanks for all the help this year, Henson.
Mm-hmm.
See you next year? Are you done with this?
I'll see you next year.
Okay, there he goes. All right, let's kick this thing off.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to the Holy Hour podcast, the all cure, most of the time bi-weekly but not lately podcast. And I am Gavin.
Like every day.
Every day. There's so many goddamn episodes this year. But welcome. There's another one. This is the last one of the year, I think. So we can finally take a breath and get back to our bi-weekliness. But welcoming Chaz and Antonio. How you doing, fellas?
Doing good,
hanging out. You know,
you ready to celebrate?
as the year's winding down.
Yeah, you got your holiday sweaters on, and
I have a Kirby shirt on, and I got my my booster today, so I'm chugging on some Gatorade just in case.
Yeah, anything could happen. But hopefully you've been boosted, so that's good.
Yeah,
better than me. I need a boost of something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so always a reason to celebrate on the Holy Hour, it seems. So this time we're celebrating the entire year of 2022. Whew, we made it through like true cure fashion. You know, they cram it all into the last 3 fucking months of the year too. I don't think we had shit to talk about.
I know, right?
It's like usually this is a kind of throwaway episode where we just talk about, you know, that one picture disc that came out or something. You know, it's like there's a lot of shit we got to cover here. So I'm gonna.
Right, I know. I went from having no Wish on vinyl to multiple
Yeah,
wishes.
you got like 16.
Yeah, I
copies.
think you in like 90% of the Cure
Yeah,
collecting
exactly.
world.
Yeah,
So.
totally. So yeah, we'll cover all that, the highlights, the lowlights. We're gonna go through everything the Cure put out and put up with, and then we're even do the Holy Hour side of it, of what the hell we did in the last year and didn't do, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. We'll wrap up with some of our favorites, but yeah, I guess the obvious place to start. Just following the wrap up of the 3 nights at Wembley, we figure if you're gonna list the highlights of the Cure, this goddamn tour has got to be at the top there. This has been pretty epic. So yeah, they pulled it off. They finished it. I kind of feel like we have to just come in saying, "What do you think? Total success? Thumbs
Yeah,
up? Or
Great success.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like."
yeah.
If you look at what they needed to do, they definitely did that and way more.
Partially.
Yeah, except for
Yeah, I mean, it's like every day you're hearing about shows, concerts, and full tours getting canceled. You know, with COVID and all kinds of other bullshit and health stuff.
yeah,
So hey, they chugged through and made it. You know, like
yeah,
it's like
pretty impressive. Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
for sure
yeah.
we might lose
No,
one.
for
It
real,
got a
it's like
little sketchy at the end there, but they
yeah, I
did
know
it.
some bands that went out for 4-week tours and missed shows. 'Cause
Yeah.
people,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like, so
For
pretty
sure.
damn successful.
46 shows total. They played a total of 50 songs. Not every night, of course, but scattered throughout. 19 countries were covered. So no visible fights on stage, no cancellations, like we said. For the most part, everyone stayed healthy, even though Robert had that one hiccup there in Birmingham, but rebounded gracefully. And didn't cancel a single fucking show when it would have actually almost made sense to cancel that one, to give them 3 nights before Wembley to rest up. But nope. Wasn't too cold on stage for him or anything like that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's another guy.
Yeah.
Cold on stage.
So just to further rub it in his face there, he's like, I literally can't speak and I'm going to sing another awesome show the next night. so
Yeah, that live clip when he's like, "Is it cold in here or is it hot in here?" And they're like, "It's cold," and he's like, "Oh." I was like, "That's a fucking dig." I love
totally. Did he say that? I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
One of the yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
trying to
catch
remember
that.
which of the YouTube clips I was watching.
Oh,
I think it was
shit.
one of the
That's awesome.
it was during one of the new songs. He was like, "Oh, it was in Poland, I think." No, where was it? I got to go back to my YouTube
Yeah,
and
no
look. 'Cause it's
problem,
probably
no.
something. But yeah, in the beginning of one of the clips, when he's getting ready to play "I Could Never Say Goodbye,"
Uh-huh.
he's like asking the crowd, like, "Is it cold in here?" Oh, is it hot in here? He's like, are you cold? I say yes. He's like, oh, well, thanks for entertaining us. And he's like, but we're gonna play some songs.
Yeah,
And this is a new
we're gonna
song.
actually
And I was
keep
like,
playing.
oh my god, I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to find that one. Yes, I mean, really the set list too, pretty stellar. I think they definitely even anybody had grabbed any of those shows, it's just kind of the luck of the draw. But there was like a great sampling of all of them. We got tons of longtime Cure traveling fans that have seen billions of shows, and pretty much everyone that we've talked to has said this is in there, if not the absolute best Cure show they've seen ever. So I mean, that's pretty rad at this point in their career. If people are saying that, totally sincere voice and everything, it's I think you're always kind of caught up in the moment that the most recent one's the best, but at the same time, people seem fairly convinced that these are sounding the tightest and the best of any show that they've seen from the band, which is crazy, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So yeah, pretty rad. Let's see, and best of all, it all wrapped up with no evidence of him, full on saying this is the last. Even if it did, it wouldn't have really have mattered. But at the same time, he didn't. If anything, it was very, the usual "see you again." And there was some tweets that came out in the last couple of days, I guess, right after the last show. Did you guys see those? They were pretty funny. It was he had 3 tweets. The first one was complete gibberish. I think he tweeted something, which I do admit I spent a day trying to decipher and find the actual code of what he was trying to. It's like, nah, I got nothing. This was just a old man trying to tweet. Yeah. I still feel like there's a code in there too. If we do like some Da Vinci Code shit, we can figure out the release date of the new album or something. But then the next one just said, not going anywhere, which was pretty funny because it was just vague enough where it's like the pessimist or optimist kind of thing, where it was like, does he mean we as a band, we're not going anywhere, we're sticking around? Or does he mean we're not going anywhere like right now because the tour's over? Or does it mean we're not going anywhere, especially the U.S. in 2020?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, shit, how do you interpret it? So I don't know.
I don't interpret it as like the Wolf of Wall Street kind of like, I'm not going anywhere, like pumping his chest.
Yeah. Fuckers, you can't destroy them. Yeah, everyone's like, cool, they're not breaking up. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't take it like that. I think it just meant we're not going anywhere for a few days.
I mean, that could have been like dictation from him, like all that gibberish, or he was like just screaming into the phone, like he was hyping himself up. I'm not going anywhere.
Sure.
Hey, yo, Adrian.
And it was just vague enough where he didn't say, I'm not going anywhere, or we aren't going. You know what I mean? It was like, what are we talking about? Like to the grocery store? Or are we like talking like tour 2023?
Or Mary was asking him if we're going to stay in and watch a movie. Like, are we going out tonight? And then he just like, we're not going anywhere.
She's like, all right, we're gonna Netflix and chill.
And then on a Facebook post, you said the usual nice thanks to the crew and everybody that came to the shows and everything. But then it said, hope we see you in 2023, which then I got all high fidelity on that. Where I'm like, sweet, 2023. And I'm like, what does he mean? He hopes to see us? Shit should be like confirmed by now. Like if they're gonna do it or not. It's like you should.
No, he just means he hopes everyone can get tickets since Taylor Swift broke broke the internet.
For sure, totally. I'll take that. That's more optimistic. Good.
But when you say hope, that kind of makes me feel like that he doesn't really have any plans.
Yeah, like nothing's set yet. Like definitely not like the big announcements coming next week or something. So I hope it happens. I mean, it's kind of. We'll
see what happens, guys.
If I ever run into his bookie agent, I'm gonna punch him straight in his face.
Yeah. Oh shit. So yeah, you guys felt good with everything on the tour, and they did everything that they should do.
I mean, it's not that I stopped caring. I just stopped paying attention because I was just getting it wasn't good for my mental health.
Right.
Just just getting upset at like each time, and then no offense to some rich people that are fans of the podcast, but seeing you travel all over the world is a little a little I don't know. It doesn't make me happy.
You can't
So
can't
I
just be
just
happy for them, Chaz.
yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm just not happy. I'm happy. I'm not happy because I'm not there. So,
Yeah, it was definitely.
but I caught some highlights here and there, and caught up on people's stories and loved seeing a lot of the pictures. But as far as it went of like I think after like probably about the first week, I stopped going on set list.
Yeah.
And looking up the set
Yeah.
list and going through it all, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
oh man.
Totally. I wondered how much of the just doing the podcast episodes and stuff kept me like super glued to it. Like if I hadn't been trying to like feel like I need to be on top of every little thing as it's happening. I don't know. Yeah, I've never been so like. That's what's so weird. Like I've never followed any tour, especially one where I didn't even see a single show on it. This closely in this like weird day and age that we live in, where you can update the set list while it's happening. You can see at least a one clip of it, like a 15 minutes after it's over. So yeah, it's just weird as hell that it like you are able to like watch a whole show, probably the next day, I was like, geez. And
it's crazy that we can watch a show in real time basically from across the world, but it just kind of it still bums me the fuck out because I can't be there. If there was a tour like if they were coming here in March or something, I would probably be a little bit more engaged with what was going on this tour, just because I could, project what was going to happen when they come over here.
Yeah.
But there's nothing coming down the pike, so it just
I
got
mean,
me more
that's
and more
what's
upset.
It's tough because
So,
even the stuff that's exciting and the stuff that's like, oh, that's weird, like probably won't even happen if they do a tour here. Like all the weird ones they do pull out, they're gonna switch it up. They're not gonna do the same things. I mean, I do feel like no matter what, that was a moment in time that we're never going to be able to catch, and that is kind of sad, but at the same time, it's
by the time they come to the US, they're like, oh, we learned a bunch of old songs off of the self-titled record we're playing.
Totally.
And I'm like, no!
Since we didn't play one song off of the self-titled, we're going to totally focus on that.
We're going to fucking go hard with it.
It's just the Ross Robinson tour of him with Ross Robinson with the 3 best albums he ever did. So it's like Korn, The Cure,
and Ross Robinson's gonna be mixing the live audio. But I think for me the biggest one of the biggest I was like excitements that turned then to maddening that made me like try to back off a little bit as much as I was excited to hear some of the new songs as they kept playing other ones. I'm like, well, you still haven't dropped the record. Like, don't play fucking half of it. I don't even know when it's coming out yet. But then again, on the flip side, I was thinking back and I'm like, well, it's kind of like when when especially being involved with like the underground music scenes and punk and hardcore, you'd get like demo versions of stuff, and then you still like them when the album comes out, but you were like pumped you got to hear the demo. So I'm like, all right, it's just it's like hearing the demo, it's okay. But I think there's still that like I think I still wanted my first time hearing those songs to be like sitting down with the record with noise canceling headphones, ignoring the fucking world and just like zoning out on it.
Yeah, a couple things on that where they definitely pump the brakes right at the right moment. Like 5 is maybe one too many, but at the same time, perfect, cool, don't do anymore. Because there was speculation, we're all like, are they going to do the whole thing on the last night or something, and I'm so glad they didn't do that, because I don't want to hear every little thing, and but yeah, like you're saying too, is like hearing the first few ones through like a live stream on Instagram, it was definitely like, oh, cool. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, this is like a super shitty way to hear it for the first time, and
it's like they're not the Grateful Dead, it's not like you're like, oh, I need that show from 1971 at fucking blah 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 State Park,
Especially as much as we're going to be absorbing this and taking this with us to the grave at this point, this is we want each little thing to be perfect for it, but
Yeah, a quick shout out too. I just in the last couple days that Max Zarucci, this is a guy that I've cited earlier, was posting full, like mostly around Italy and stuff. Was playing, posting full, like pretty watchable videos that are handheld, but they were like he was in a good spot and it sounded good somehow. So like the few ones I watched full shows of, he had recorded and posted. But he also just in the last couple days took like I guess what he thought was the best ones of the 5 new songs and got soundboard recordings of them somehow too and fucked with them a little bit, I think, to clean them up. And they sound really good. So I finally was just like, all right, I'm dumping these on my phone now. And I've been listening to that for like 2 days straight and they're really cool. I'll post the link to it for this episode. But if anybody is interested and wants to kind of just binge on them till whenever the hell the album does come out, those are the ones to listen to, I think, because it really does sound good quality.
Yeah,
it's
email me that link.
Yeah, I appreciate that you sent that to us already. That's real cool.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk it up first, and then I'll send it to you. I literally just put it on my phone today, so it hasn't been that long.
I don't know if you guys have been on like a lot of the Facebook groups or anything. There's been a lot of Cure bootleg vinyl coming out lately, and a lot of it's from Europe. So I totally foresee somebody taking the soundboard of those 5 songs and putting them out.
Put them on a 10-inch or some shit.
Or something like that, or putting a couple extra songs from the tour on it, and just call it, Tour from the Lost World or something.
But I think it gets you kind of pumped for
that might be the only thing we get, though.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I'm not, it's like, and the quality is arguably better than like that curation thing, I felt like that was cool in a bootleg form, but this felt pretty much on par, if not better than that. So I mean, definitely good quality. But yeah, I felt like it got me pumped for the ones when the album does come out. Now I'll be like, yeah, those songs, and then you can hear the differences and stuff. So just enough. If they had done like maybe one more song, I would have been like, all right, let's not ruin every surprise, unless the other ones are all like complete dog shit, we're like, oh man, they spoiled all the good songs, But,
those are the 5 songs they have done right now.
Yeah, so we'll see. On top of that, the other highlights, I guess I just had, it was a good, nothing crazy rare played, but some good, Cold, Faith, Figurehead, all those. Trust was cool. Kyoto Song, Hot 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 got a couple plays, but Nothing like where they dug out Exploding Boy or anything, but at the same time, just rare enough.
And Simon did smash his bass on the last.
He had a couple nights where he was throwing it around, but that last one he totally wailed on it, so that was cool. That was good.
Yelling betrayal.
So,
I'll die if there's a fucking song named Betrayal.
Yeah, that'd be great. There was a leaked track listing too. Did you see that?
No.
I'll send that to you guys. Yeah, it looked pretty legit too. There was a couple other ones. Damn it, I meant to pull it up, but it got like deleted really fast too. But there were some other track names. They had it like laid out like a vinyl even. So who the hell knows how legit it was, but it like was one of those deals where it got pulled up and then taken down real fast. So that kind of usually tends to be true when it is that, So I'll send it to you guys, but I don't want to rattle off fake names if they are fake, So, that was cool. Perry coming back, of course. We never quite figured out what the full reason might be, but at the same time, everyone's just happy to have him there. So that was a cool highlight.
To make a wish.
Yeah, to make oh no, I hope not. So, and of course, just a giant thank you to the people that directly did contribute and sent in things like Colleen, Dennis, Allison, John, Kevin, Luke, Alan, Mike, and Wendy, and Bart, Tom, Matt, and Tom Burns at the end there. Whether it just been a couple sentences in an email or a full-on interview or conversation we've had, that was cool and very sweet. So thank you very much to everyone that kept us posted too. And maybe we could finally lay the tour to rest.
Thanks for everybody for tagging me in the shirts that you wore to the around the world, but in Europe anyway. That's really cool and I appreciate it and touches my heart, and thank you for contributing and being a part of it, even though we couldn't be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That was
so,
rad.
Yeah,
Seeing like a cool, like, let's totally Chaz's shirt.
yeah.
It's pretty rad. Awesome. As far as lowlights of the tour, I didn't really feel like there was any real ones, but I did jot down a couple. There was some kind of ticket drama that I didn't really dive into what everybody's. It was just something with it wasn't Cure related. It was like fucking Ticketmaster event. What is it? Eventbrite or some shit. They
Oh yeah, the Eventbrite app.
yeah, they weren't like mailing people like flying from all over the world. Like they like wouldn't they didn't have their tickets like 2 days before the show or something.
Damn.
And it was getting like really scary for a lot of people. It sounded like so. I was just kind of like,
This is through Ticketmaster.
Nah, I think it was. Is it Eventbrite? Is that like an
Oh.
actual thing? Like is
No,
that what it's called?
Eventbrite. I'm trying to remember who they.
Yeah, I
I'd say
forget.
Ticketmaster usually doesn't have any problems. They're
No.
usually
Yeah.
they're pretty
I was
straightforward.
gonna say, yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think it really
Well,
I
matters
mean, aside,
which
aside
company it
from
is. I think they're
ripping
all-
people off and
Yeah.
crashing the interwebs.
I think we're all used to just getting raped by them, but at least they send you a barcode or something at this
Yeah.
point. Like the fact that they
Yeah.
didn't have an actual ticket that was like, what? You know, it's like, how could this? So
Wouldn't it be
I-
funny if Taylor Swift fans are the fans that end it all
Yeah,
and like just
somehow.
completely upend
Yeah,
the
right.
system?
They can't. Live Nation owns too many venues. Like it's,
Yeah.
you know, it's yeah.
Yeah, well,
can't-
sorry to hear, but I think I didn't see anybody like burning the arena down or anything. I
Yeah.
think that would have caused a revolution if people didn't actually get their ticket and couldn't go to the show just because they didn't have their shit together. But I think it was pretty stressful from what I saw. I didn't really dive into it, like I said. But another weird low light might have been, did you guys happen to catch that Reeves and Roger never put out a podcast through this whole thing? Like they
I knew, come
Yeah.
on. We knew that
was-
shit wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
gonna get too drunk after the shows, and it was just gonna be bullshit.
And I knew
They
on
probably recorded
some-
like one episode. And they
I
listened
tell you
to
what,
it.
I think they said they were gonna do it just because they were fucking making fun of us.
I think they were making fun. Yeah, that too. But no, I knew on some level the second post Roger did, he was full on making fun of Lowell. It was the Lowell and Budgie pod because it was all those cats and shit. Like it was the
Oh,
Curious
yeah,
Creatures
yeah.
thing, and it was gonna be like the cat. You know, it was like Curious Cats kind of bullshit and. But that one I knew he was just like, wow, he's really making fun of Lowell's podcast right now. And like, there's a few other things in there that was like totally busting on him. But I thought there was like a picture of like portable gear and shit too
Yeah.
at one point. He
Yeah.
said, you know,
Yeah.
so I was always taking it as like, yeah, he was poking fun of Lowell, but at the same time, he was going to actually do something. But I guess they just, maybe we just had it covered so well that they figured, you know, why bother?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
He needs to Henry Rollins that shit and just make a journal and then publish it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it would have been cool to hear their little afterthoughts. for
And then
sure.
they'll do a tour where they just go on and read it. Like
yeah,
live.
Our time in the lost world.
Yeah.
There was no big wish or pornography night too, which I'm fine with, especially because I didn't go to any of the shows. But
Yeah.
and it would have been. I feel like that is a little douchey to spring that without like warning to people. Like if people just showed up and tonight's the whole wish
Yeah.
night. You're like, what? Okay, cool. Like kind of feel like you have to give people a heads up if you're going to do like a full theme night or something. But at the same time, more just shocking that it wasn't a little more wish heavy, or something,
Yeah.
just have like that, especially
Yeah.
around the time when the reissue came out, that they didn't just like do like a one night where they opened with open and, something like that. But, I don't think anybody really cared, but it was just more curious that they didn't. So cool. Let's move on then. What other things happened in the Cure's world this year?
Do-do-do-do.
Well, I guess the other huge one is the Wish reissue. But since we, got ours, we were hoping to do the whole episode review on that before this one. But we just got ours like about a week ago, maybe. And I think there's a lot of people out there that still haven't gotten it. So,
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna let this one marinate and really absorb for a while. It'll be our first major tackle of the new year. What do you say, Phyllis? Does that sound good? We'll have lots of notes.
Sounds
And,
Great. My new car does not have a CD player in it, so
so
that's kind of like I'm just like, damn, and neither does this Mac. So I'm just like, where the fuck am I gonna listen to
Yeah,
this?
we gotta
And
hint. Somebody needs to get Chaz for Christmas a Discman that they can like.
I
Yeah,
have.
they sell them at Target.
Do they
I
have
know,
'em?
but in my garage, I have a cassette CD player,
Okay.
but I just got to find the cord, which I know we have. So I'll be rocking both of them.
Awesome.
The Lost World, not the Lost World. What was I saying?
You
Lost
got the-
Wishes,
you got the album?
cassette and the CD in like a day or two once I finally fucking find that
All
cord.
right, cool. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
we have a
I'll
little
probably
extra
never.
time.
I'll probably never hear the cassette.
Yeah, I do have it on my little wall over here, but I was like,
I'm
that's
too
okay.
even afraid. You know, like
Yes.
any like cassette player I've tried in the last like fucking 2 years, always just immediately starts eating the tape. And I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, fuck it.
Yeah,
I've used it. I've used that cassette player at the beginning of the pandemic because I found a ton of old cassettes in the basement and was going through them, and it does work, and it didn't ruin any of them. So
Nice.
thumbs up on that, and I'll report back. But yeah,
Cool.
So
Yeah, it'd be
those are the
cool
only
if
two
they
things
threw
holding me
some
back right
extra
now.
thing on the cassette that wasn't on the, but I'm sure it's the exact same. Just sounds shittier because it's on a cassette.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm in no rush to like worry about the cassette.
yeah, that's more of
Yeah.
like a, just
I
a
did.
nice
I did blast the
decoration.
CD through the stereo the other day.
Yeah, they sound great. There's lots of cool shit in the liner notes. It sounds great. Like I said, we won't totally dive into it, but definitely some cool stuff in there. And yeah, shout out to Coulter and Mike too, because they offered to send me scans of the liner notes when ours weren't arriving. And they were like, "Well, if you have the digital, you can listen to the streaming, and you can have the." I was like, "Yeah,
That's so sweet.
that was very nice." Yeah,
Well,
but-
at least your wife and your son weren't making fun of you on how many different versions of Wish you have.
yeah.
At dinner the other
Like,
night.
don't you have this? Like,
And then they're like, wait, so you're not going to open that one, but you're going to open this? And I'm like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
so yeah, that is
My-
something we. Go ahead.
My wife stopped shaming me years ago when I held up like two different copies. I think of Let's Go to Bed, and I was like, but they're two different countries.
It's like
Yeah,
completely different. Totally.
And I'm like, just wait, guys. You know, when you're not around and you
Yeah.
don't know, and I buy an original version and spend way too much money on it, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Now it'll
Yeah.
just be my dirty little secret that I keep them
Yeah,
all.
it's like, you know, I thought I spent a lot, you know, on my, you know, original Disintegration for $125. Just wait till I come across
Yeah.
a Wish.
Yeah, but I know we're not going to get into it, but I think it's really cool that they did all that they did for the Wish reissue media wise.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think the vinyl
That was a good job.
Yeah, I think the fact that they did a regular black double LP, they did the picture disc, they did the CD, and they did the tape. And they're apparently having another LP coming out for just stand-up stores, like just brick and mortar stores.
Okay.
So they're
Oh.
doing, you know, as best as we could hope for,
Yeah, they covered it
you know,
all,
media
so-
wise. So you know,
Totally.
but-
That is cool. And I guess
Yeah.
something we can address in this, just briefly, yes or no, since you guys got the picture disc, have you noticed a difference between the quality of the picture disc on this one versus the quality of the black vinyl that you got?
I haven't. I'm
like
gonna at some point before we do the issue, I'm gonna A/B
Okay.
the
So-
Yeah.
records.
So verdict's
And-
still out on that, or jury's still
Yeah,
out on
because
that.
well, I'm gonna tell my emotional story real quick.
Okay.
So I think I sent you guys a picture. So my picture disc, my dog decided that she would pull it out. Now here's the ironic part. Her name is Charlotte, and it's for Charlotte. Sometimes I'm like, out of all the vinyl,
oh,
really?
sometimes Charlotte.
yeah, exactly. So she pulled it out and chewed on it. I got all upset. I hadn't even opened it yet. It didn't get to the actual record, so I then immediately bought another copy, obviously.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's why they're giving you extra
and
shit.
so so now I have like one that's not chewed up, and the chewed up one. Now I'm like, all right, well, I don't care about playing this one, you know, around the house, and I'm also dealing with the issue where if you make a quick enough movement in my living room, because the subfloor I think sucks,
Mm-hmm.
the record will skip.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, so here's
Yeah.
the version I can put on and fucking dance around and not give a shit.
Totally.
Then I'm not going to open that one. And I'll open that one and listen to it. But when no one else is home and nobody's moving and I'm just sitting,
Yeah.
So
So you got to cover every
I
scenario.
was like,
good.
I can't believe you chewed this. I was yeah, it's pretty.
I didn't catch it. It was your dog. I thought like the post.
Yeah, I thought it was delivery man.
Oh no, you know what?
that's
Yes,
what
I did
thought.
send you guys that picture.
Oh,
Yes,
did
my
somebody else did
regular
that?
reissue is slightly messed up on the top, and I did
Okay.
email the store, and they have not emailed me back.
Oh,
And
man.
Yeah,
I
good
probably
luck.
never.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah.
fuck that.
I'm sure the vinyl is fine. It's just the jacket's a little crinkled on the top.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
like for the amount of like how long I waited for that fucking thing, I wanted it to come in perfect.
Yeah. I guess the next topic, pornography picture disc, came out earlier in the year. What, April Record Store Day? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was, everything you would hope for in an album that has a picture on it.
But yet again, it still came with no pornography in it.
No actual
yeah,
pornography. Yeah. But
No, yeah.
so I guess my only follow-up question for that would be, so where are they at now on like what doesn't have a picture disc? Is it I definitely like self-titled in 413, but
Yeah,
has there been a Kiss Me or Top?
No, hasn't been a Kiss Me. There's been no Top.
Yeah.
But and Disintegration had one, right?
Disintegration
Even though it
got
wasn't-
one, but not like a recent one. That one's like really hard to get a hold of.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's very hard to.
Just
I don't
just
have
like
that
the
one.
pornography had one before too, but that one was
Okay.
really hard to get a hold of too.
And then the first record also doesn't have a picture disc.
Three Measure Boys
It
didn't
does,
do
but
one?
that's hard. That's like that's not an
Wait.
official picture disc.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
so-
could see them doing a picture disc at one point for the American the Boys Don't Cry version.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think it would be a cool picture disc.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it
You
just it
Because like you do a double and then you would include like one of the LPs being, like Three Imaginary Boys,
Mm-hmm.
but do the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
maybe do that like a double would be pretty cool. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
Well,
at
it would
this
make
point,
no points whatsoever to do all these picture discs if you're not going to
do all of them. Yeah,
all of them at least up to Wild Mood Swings, right?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they already got Blood Flowers and Wild Mood Swings, so
So
yeah.
and now Wish, and now they just gotta get. I mean, if they're gonna redo Disintegration, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It'd be cool if they
so-
did like a double picture disc.
yeah, double picture.
but not only that,
Um,
like I guess Kiss Me would look pretty cool on a fucking picture disc.
Put like the eye part on it or something would be cool. The big lip might be.
It'd just be red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like lips on one side and like
I don't know.
on the other.
I'm still not sold on any of that shit. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear if at least the quality's caught up. Where they sound just as good.
Yeah, I don't think it's really the issue isn't really like the way it sounds so much as the long term
Yeah, the longevity of it.
longevity of the vinyl.
Staying
Huh.
good.
Yeah, because
That's like
they
every
deteriorate
vinyl,
faster
though.
than anything else. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, even with the Wish one, I was like, I put on the record. I was like, finally, Wish on vinyl. And I was just like in my car driving pick up the kid and put the CD on. I was like, CD sounds like way fucking better. Just saying. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's like, let's be
Could be the
honest.
speakers in your car. and
Yeah,
the
I'm
fact that it's
sure.
right in your ears.
Yeah. But we'll save that for the episode too. Funko Pops finally decided to grace us with a full band version of The Cure, which I guess is only on pre-order right now for the full band,
Yeah.
if I'm following the
Yeah.
details.
Yeah.
But Robert Solo is floating around at your local Hot Topics.
Mm-hmm.
A little confused about a possible frozen in carbonite.
There's a metallic one out that
Okay, yeah.
is through
What the-
Hot Topic.
Okay.
As of right now, you can still pre-order it or just order it. It was for this Funko, I guess, convention or whatever. And yeah,
What's
so
that
there's
all
a
about?
silver
Do they
one
just
if you
do
if
that
you want it.
occasionally, like make silver ones of other things, or
Yeah,
what's the
yeah, they
connection?
do stuff like that all the time.
Okay.
So, but I mean,
Yeah.
was like, what is this? Like they just forgot to paint it
Well,
or something?
Also, I checked a couple times. I wasn't able to pre-order the 5-pack. It just gives you a notify me when it's ready to order.
Maybe they're
like-
still testing the interest level or something. But
Yeah, I don't know.
well,
It's
there
it's
was
like I
my
didn't
wife
sign up in-
pre-ordered it. Yeah, my wife pre-ordered it for me. I think to give it to me
Oh, she
on
did?
Father's Day. But
Oh,
it
wait,
wasn't through
the
Hot Topic. Hot Topic
the
just
full
did. Yeah,
no, the full band.
yeah. She got the full. She already pre-ordered the full band one.
Oh, really? See,
So I
I
just don't
don't
know
know.
where she got it from though. But
hmm.
yeah. So yeah.
So you got your Robert though?
the actual. Did either of you guys get the Funko yet?
I
The
didn't
Robert
get
Smith
it.
one?
I'm hoping somebody
No?
buys
No,
it for
not
me
yet.
for Christmas. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I'm like, it's kind of thing I don't
Damn
want
it.
to buy myself. So hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully somebody will buy. I'm like, this is cute, isn't it? Just leaving it around the house and stuff.
Well, I got one.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It looks good.
I like it. It's sitting on my cure shelf right now,
Nice.
which you guys can't see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw some people complaining about it just because of the lipstick and like it doesn't look like Robert. And I'm like,
Do any fucking pops?
have you
look
guys
at-
looked at
Yeah.
Funko Pops before?
Yeah, none of them really look all that much. Yeah, I mean, bigger hair would have been kind of cool, but you could see how, it's.
It looks a lot like the Funko Pop that I drew. I'm like when the pandemic started because I was trying to figure out art stuff for the kids to do.
Yeah.
And I just printed out a bunch of blank Funko Pop things. I was like, hey, let's draw. So then I drew a Robert Smith one.
Yeah.
And I was just like, here you go. And then like that was like, because they haven't done one yet. So
Right.
and then it comes out this year, which it looks. I mean, it looks how I drew it.
Yeah.
It looks like a Funko Pop. And if you're upset about the lipstick, get a red pen
Yeah, you can
and
always
just
fix
make it a little
that, yeah.
messier and call it a day. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was more up in arms with the band one.
Yeah.
But
I thought
yeah,
they looked pretty
so-
good. I didn't really study it too close, but I think maybe the Jason was a little suspect, but like a few of them I thought they looked pretty cool.
It wasn't the fact that they didn't look cool. I just didn't like the fact that they did a current lineup of the band
Yeah.
for the when they're like 80 years old.
Yeah,
Like-
true. Yeah, that should be like a classic one, and then you have to do every era. It's like, and they still fucked it up because they don't have a Perry one though. So,
Yeah,
so
but yeah,
so it's
that's
not
true
even the
too,
current
but-
lineup.
but I would have rather seen like a Disintegration or
Yeah.
even like just Lowell, Simon, and Robert.
Yeah,
together,
there's a little more
so-
like kind of iconic design too, or if they did like the little Simon hat for Disintegration and stuff, and Robert in his like polka dot shirt with the sweater and stuff like that would have been a
Yeah.
little more, little tip offs
Yeah.
to things that people would be
From-
like, oh, Cure.
From my understanding, Robert only said he would do if it was the current band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like that he stands by that. Yeah, that's nice. Because I guess they get their money for it, so it would be. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd rather have a Boris Funko than a Jason Cooper. No offense, Jason, but
Oh. Well, maybe it's coming still. After the success of this one, they'll do every era. So pretty cool. Another upcoming episode I'd like to do in the new year is Roger's new solo album that got kind of very briefly overlooked because of all the tour craziness and stuff. But it's actually quite lovely, and I've given it lots of streams. But yeah, he's got a new solo album out called 7 Different Words for Love. Very just chill piano-y Roger stuff with great strings and just great atmosphere music to throw on when you're feeling chill. But yeah, I'd like to kind of maybe I'll save that for Patreon one or something. It's hard to say how much we could really ramble on about it, but at the same time, yeah, it is good. It's
haven't listened to it yet.
really cool and nice that he's put out 2 solo albums now in the time that I always
Well, we
love
did a
that.
whole episode on his one. On his
the last
solo
one,
album.
yeah, that was
I
like-
really liked it. I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to dive into this one yet, but if it's anything like the last one. He even listened to that episode, didn't he?
Yeah, he commented that he'd check out the
He's like, I'm gonna
bands.
go listen to those bands that you said I sounded
Yeah,
like,
like,
and I
oh
was just like,
shit.
holy shit, he's listening to the Godspeed You Black Emperor.
I was like, this is all gonna, it's all gonna come crashing down now. He knows we exist. But yeah, we loved it. And I think this one, if you like that one, you definitely would dig this one too. So
Awesome. Any singing on this one, like the last one?
no, this one's full on instrumental. So yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna dive into that one.
Yeah, Play Out also got a very subtle remaster reissue, which was cool right around the time of the Wish Deluxe. They just, they should have totally.
Why?
Why did they remaster it?
No. Why didn't they like
Promote it?
Why didn't they do something with it? Why just put it on YouTube?
Yeah, it was really weird that there was barely an announcement for it even, and yeah, they cleaned it up great too. It sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
It looks awesome. So I was like, yeah, you should totally. I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense to put it out on a Blu-ray or anything nowadays. Nobody buys any of that shit, I guess. But at the same time,
What about a digital download or
Yeah,
or something?
or
Like I don't know.
something.
Like I think you could do something with it rather than just. Not that I'm not grateful for the free stuff, but I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are
I'm
into
just
it
always a
for
little
the-
weary of YouTube because shit disappears
Yeah.
so easy on that or gets flagged
Oh, I
or
know,
something,
yeah,
and it's
it's
just it could get lost really quick. So I couldn't quite find the right program that I used to use where I could strip it and save it as a file and stuff. But so I haven't quite done that yet. But yeah, it sounds awesome. There was I think 2 extra songs. I don't remember them doing 10:15 and Killing an Arab at the Secret Show gig. So I think they added that on. Maybe it's just been a while since I watched that. But and it's over 2 hours long. I didn't remember it being that long before. But it's awesome. I had a nice night just rewatching the whole thing. I was like, this is so cool because it's just that peak fandom craziness level where I'm just like, oh, every little mannerism and stuff and just little tidbits that they say. Every room they walk into, you kind of looking around. Who's that person in the back? Who's that? Oh, shit, they're drinking that kind of beer. It's just the shit I totally nerded out over as a kid and apparently still do. But
I remember when we did that. Didn't we do a play out episode?
Not
or something
officially.
where we
That's
had
what.
to
Yeah, I've
watch
had
it?
people asking because we when we did the unplugged, we did an unplugged episode, and that's a huge chunk of that.
Okay.
So we talk a lot about it then, and I think we talked about it. There was a couple times where we just crossed paths a lot, and we talked about it. So that's when I was like, yeah, we should do a full episode on it, but we have covered it quite a bit, just in wherever the hell it would fall. But yeah, so there was a
Yeah,
lot
I
of-
just remember how shitty that version that I was trying to watch before.
yeah.
Because I remember we were texting about it back and forth, and
it's real
I
rough.
was just like, "Oh my god, this is terrible."
Yeah.
So seeing it now, especially the unplugged version,
Yeah.
looks absolutely beautiful. Compared to
Oh,
what it was,
so good.
compared to what we had available before.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the closest I think we're ever gonna get to an official
Yeah.
unplugged. So that's the one you're gonna want to strip the audio from and stuff, So
I'm kind of pissed we did our unplugged version episode already without
before,
this.
yeah. So maybe we should just do a full on play out video too, because that'd be fun to reshare
Yeah.
all that, And because I remember us talking about that story where she's. Where Perry's looking for the electric razor, and then the lady's doing his makeup, and they talk about the one-armed man that falls out of the airplane or whatever the hell that crazy story is. It's this whole whack ass story. Yeah. So he's like, "What are you talking about?" So yeah, we'll put that on the list. Why not?
Yeah.
At least we'll get to rewatch it again. So, the Wish merch got a way bigger announcement, which pretty much everybody I think was on board with their snoring emojis and everything. But yeah, I mean it's cool they did it. They always got to do it last second, which seems a little weird too. Or it's even if somebody ordered this shit, you're not going to get it for 6 months now, and it's the moment's kind of gone already, even. But just putting the album cover on a T-shirt is a little. I like the high
It's so
thing
boring.
with the black with the red outline, but it's just subtle, And I think they even since the initial one, I saw a kind of when they do the black and white version of the album cover, that was kind of cool on a hoodie. I think there is a version of that where it's black, but the outlines are all in white with like the blue, sand dollar thing there. And so that's kind of cool. But yeah, it was all just when you're just slapping the album cover on things, it's kind of
Yeah, this is not the first time.
nah. So
This
yeah,
has
it's
come
kind
up where
of
they try
silly
to
to
redo
even.
merch, and it's just like, dude, you like it looks like it's gonna come out shitty.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's gonna come
Yeah.
out on the cheapest possible tissue T-shirt, and just like ugh, and like it's just I don't know, it's offensive.
Yeah.
With all the digital artists out there that you have the money to go get,
Yeah.
and just the vast amount of stuff that you have available that you could give to somebody to use for artwork,
Yeah.
um
And just
that it's so
Well,
boring. And
I mean, also, can we talk about the fact that like I don't really understand using the "Boys Don't Cry" image
and
either on some of that merch? Like
those are the two posters that were like
the London, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
it was like the London shirts and
Yeah, they just put
poster
those
and
out in the last day where they're making shirts of the
yeah,
fly or like the poster flyer, whatever you call it for the Wembley shows and the
right,
the
yeah, and
Paris
it's
one
like,
of the
but it's got
cats.
that new logo.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a pink moon. It's got obviously London, but you chose the like that image. Like I
Yeah.
get it, but it's like I'm like, that's like way long time ago. I guess maybe it's bookends. I guess,
Yeah, I
but
I
kind of
guess
get
so,
that.
but it's
It's a
just
cool
it
looking
just
image,
reflects
but
the boring digital art that they have going on. And I even like the
yeah,
new
hundred
logo,
percent.
yeah.
but
Yeah,
but
I do too.
And the
but
merch,
this reflects the Carnage Visor stuff that they did,
yeah, the
the
merch tour, the tour merch
Friday
was
I'm in
actually kind
Love.
of way cooler. We
Yeah.
talked a bit about that when it first started, where that's definitely the route to go. I think I'd be more keen to just get one with the new logo on it, something super
Yeah.
simple like that, or with that, planet stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, it's just, like you said, you can't get too shocked by it at this point. It's like, cool, a bucket
But it's
hat
like I
with the
want to
Wish
give you
album
my
cover.
money. Like it's not like
Yeah,
I'm bitching just because I like to bitch, but I'm just like
yeah.
I have money that I would like to give you for a
And
cool T-shirt.
I kind of feel like it's more, even if it wasn't anything that great, I'd be more, likely to just order it if it was like smooth. But I know everything is
Yeah.
like this, like the Wish reissue, even, just like, good
Hmm.
God. It's like every story I'm hearing, like anything you order from their official site, it's just like some clusterfuck where it doesn't, you're not even sure if it's really going to happen. You're going to get it, you get it 4 months from now or something, and
Yeah.
shipping's going to be absurd, so it's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't need
Well,
an album cover.
when they released that what was it? The one calendar, and
Yeah.
they did the Japanese Whisper picture disc at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah, stuff like that.
They shipped them both together instead of having an option of shipping them separately. So I had to wait until the middle of the year to get my fucking calendar
Yeah.
because they shipped them together. I'm like, what are
Everyone
you
loves
guys
I
doing?
a late
I want
calendar.
6 months of this returned to me.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I guess that was our segue into lowlights of the year. So maybe that merged.
Definitely
Yeah.
on there.
Really, I
Yeah,
guess overall lowlights of the year would just be I had jotted down the rest of the world tour announcement that we're all kind of. We all understand they need the break. We're not expecting them to be over here next month, but at the same time, we know how far in advance these things usually get booked and announced, and we all, it'd be kind of nice to know if it's gonna fucking happen at all, let alone
Hmm.
summer, fall, springs even starting to seem less likely now, unless everything was just ready to be signed, like all they
Yeah.
gotta do is announce it. They could do it in the next week, but I don't know. Yeah, it seems a
Yeah.
little weird. I kept saying I wasn't gonna worry until nothing got announced after the tour. Now I'm still trying to be optimistic, but I'm like, yes, maybe I should be getting a little worried. But I mean, it seems like they'll be here. It's just whether it'll be now. It's looking like fall over here, but they don't tend to do that here. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. I mean, I guess for Wild Mood Swings it was like fall maybe. Trying to think back of past tours, but it's always like outside pavilions and shit like that. It's
They
more of a
did
spring
the
summer.
2000.
When was the 2008?
I thought I saw them in October,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong.
Got my little ticket stub book, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like it makes sense, but arenas and stuff would be fine in the fall, but I don't know. They seem to like the
at best, I think
pavilions and
we're
shit.
gonna get summer,
Yeah,
but like even festivals are being announced, and
Yeah.
so it's not like
I've talked
Yeah, I
myself
mean-
out of worrying about that though. That would make no fucking sense to like play
Yeah.
festivals for a new album.
No,
They
no.
might come back to like Europe and do a few festivals after they play shows here. But
Yeah.
that would be really
I
fun.
mean,
and with that,
speaking of festivals, we definitely, it'd be a sin not to mention the fact that Susie just announced that she's going to play for the first time
yeah,
mhm,
wonder
in
what-
like, what, 10, 11 years?
10 years, yeah. But I don't know with
Yeah.
who.
yeah, who's
Yeah,
backing her up?
yeah. There's
Who's-
no. I've tried to search like the rest of who else is on that festival, and I just just keeps bouncing around. There's
Yeah.
no
She's
like
just gonna like.
full list yet,
I wonder
Yeah.
if
and it's in
I
the
don't-
UK, so
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
yeah,
I'm not going with that. Like, it's cool. I'm glad she's getting back
yeah, that'd be cool.
into it, but I was like, oh,
I guess we
True.
should really watch what the Twilight Sad is doing to figure out what the
Yeah.
Cure's gonna do.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
the
we'll
Twilight
see.
Sad has tours booked for the rest of the year.
Yeah, then we're never fucked. Yeah. Good
I'm just
point.
gonna book hotels like on based on what they're gonna be touring next year.
Safe bet.
Yeah, I don't foresee us getting together in the summer and seeing them.
yeah.
At best, maybe
still
the
possible,
fall.
but
like
yeah.
that's just like, are they gonna just do what they did this year in
But
the United
here-
States and Canada and Mexico,
happen.
or
Yeah.
what?
I know. It seems like even rest of the world, you got to hit up like Australia and the whole other world. It's like you can't just say rest of the world and then just come to the U.S. and Mexico City. It's like you gotta. It's gonna be pretty big, I would think. But
The colonizer in me disagrees with you, and
yeah,
that is
that's
the
the
rest
only
of the
parts
world.
that matter. Yeah, and I guess the other dead horse we can kick a few times on the way to other topics is the new album. So what the fuck is that up? I mean, that could be right around the
I
corner.
feel better about that than a tour.
Yeah,
At
you
least,
feel
Yeah,
yeah, it's weird how they keep going back and forth between which one seems more likely. But yeah, I mean, he ended. I think the last 3 shows was introducing the new songs as this is a new song that won't be new for much longer. I don't know because you've been playing them for 3 months, yeah, I guess, or because the album's coming out. So I'm still banking on like spring, April will be.
But that's like even another thing with like announcing the album. You have to announce that in advance too, just for pre-orders.
Yeah, or yeah.
God damn it, you're right.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I
If
mean,
it's anything like Wish, it's not going to come out till
That's what I'm saying.
we're
like,
pre-order in January, and we're not going to get it till October.
but I mean, they don't pre-order just any album now, right? I mean, that's only if it's like a weird reissue or something, right? I mean, just any new band.
No, you'd pre-order a vinyl record too.
No, you can. Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, you
pre-order
can,
vinyl.
but yeah. I mean, I guess it would just be known that it is coming out at a certain point. You know what I mean? It's gonna start popping up on something.
I don't know if they'd be able to press off like 100,000 copies of one record and have it not get leaked out that it was coming out.
Yeah, and they gotta be in line for that now or something.
Yeah.
I mean, what the
Yeah.
fuck could it possibly be? But who knows? I think that's the disappointing part. If we put a low light, it's more that we just have no fucking clue. You know what I mean? It could be a month, it could be 2 years now. And that's the sad part where it's like,
Yeah, but even with the low, like, I mean, as upsetting as all that is, they've done more, and like, there's been more Cure news in the past,
yeah,
6 months than in the last like 3 years.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, they just did this amazing tour. So I mean, that's what.
Yeah.
Definitely
Tour,
not
Funko. Yeah.
only
yeah.
frustrating because now that we know that there's at least 5 really cool songs on the album, it makes
Mm-hmm.
your mouth water a little bit more for it. Like
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and we just recently got the news that Depeche Mode's doing a new record, and I guarantee that record comes out before the Cure.
yeah, probably. Who knows? I heard one song already, so yeah. Well, fuck all that. Let's move on to some holy hour highlights. We got some bangers here. We've been crushing it this year, guys. So we did have our anybody that has a podcast on Anchor, gets a little some kind of stats thing that was really weird, where they did it like a slideshow, and I just thought they were actually kind of.
one.
Did you get one for XCount?
Yeah, and I don't understand it. I'm just like, that
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's why I thought I'd just read those instead of, because usually I avoid numbers like the plague and didn't want to try to say any of that out loud, but this was just enough weird kind of things that I thought it'd be fun to read with you guys so you could hear how much we crushed it this year, or not. I don't even know. However you interpret this stuff. Maybe somebody out there knows podcast analytics better than me, but the first one that popped up said, you created 2,079 minutes of content. I was like, sweet, I guess. And this is a couple episodes ago, so we had more on top of this. But the funny part was, it said that's more than 93% of other creators in the music category. So somehow we made more content in the music than 93% of other. I was like, what? Which,
they said I made like 90 some odd percent more than other people in the religious
trauma category.
We were in.
Religious trauma category.
That's what, mine was like more people in the music category that only focuses on one band, and that one band being The Cure. We had 93% more shit than them. You got some sound effects?
Yeah.
So moving on from that, they said there was one episode in particular that got a lot of listens, more than any other. Can you guess which one it is? I was like, yeah, I got a pretty good idea. And of course, it was the Dave Allen episode, and it had 876% more streams than our average episode, which I don't even know how you could have 876% more than something.
Yeah, I'm like,
like 87% more, but like, I don't know. But so no shocker there. But big shout out to Dave Allen thank you for that boost.
Yeah, absolutely.
49
Dave Allen's bump.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about him again in a second. But 48 countries we were streamed in or downloaded or flipped by at some point. Top 5 countries being the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, and Sweden. So
very white.
Yeah.
shout out to the Swedes.
Yeah. Let's see. Something magical happened in between October 9th and October 15th, they said, because you had 95% more listeners compared to your average week. Something happened in early October. I was like, oh yeah, the tour started. So
yeah.
By The Cure doing something awesome, we skyrocketed.
Where The Cure goes, we go.
Yeah.
Someone just fell asleep listening to one episode of the podcast, and then it just kept
playing all of them. Yeah. We're in the top 10% most followed podcast, which. No fucking way. That's true.
No way.
And then it just
sorry, Gavin.
31% is written off to the side. I don't know what the hell that means. So I'm not going to get too excited about that one. Listeners scored our podcast 4.7, which kind of matches the Apple one. Nobody wants a perfect 5 because that means your podcast sucks, but like it's got to be a little less. You got to have a few negatives in there to make it.
If you're not at least pissing one person off,
then what the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
So and then the nice part was that all the gains, it said we were 64% more followers this year, 48% more listeners, 48% more hours of content, maybe. 27% more streams this year. So everything's going up. Everything's great. Expect those Christmas bonuses in the mail, guys.
Yes.
Everything's...
I can finally afford Cure tickets.
Yeah, next stop.
There's no tour.
Yeah. Oh, this was a good...
Ticketmaster has way.
This was a good final one, too. They said our podcast was you're a top 10 podcast for 536 people. So when they do their finales or whatever, 536 people had us in their top 10.
Well, I was one of them.
Yeah, me too. So
It was like
I don't use Spotify though, so
yeah, that's why a
it's-
lot of
yeah,
this is just
yeah.
Spotify centered. I'm totally Apple, so like all my shit's on Apple. But you're a top 5 podcast in 400 people's thing, and then we were the number 1 podcast for 134 people on Spotify. So
Woo!
those 134 people out there, thank you. And then all the other people that listen on YouTube or Face or Apple or whatever the fuck, Google. So who knows? But I thought those were fun. 34 episodes or so we did. I guess the big ones being Dave Allen, Phil Thornalley. I'm going to lump Mike from House of Harm in there because he's going to be playing arenas soon, and that's going to be nice. So those are our big celebrity interviews we did this one. So and a shout out to Chaz for making those happen. So yeah, talking to those guys, pretty amazing. Kept a wide range of topics, I guess. Same old bullshit. Sometimes it's goofy. Sometimes we tried to be professional. Sometimes we accomplished maybe 1 or 2 of those, so I was happy with that. Yeah, did you have any favorites or least favorites, things that we definitely need to not do or do again? You guys?
Oh man, I don't know. The David Allen one is still surreal to me, just because the fact that he like emailed me a couple times afterwards and like just to see what's up. It's just weird, and it's just like
just checking in to say hi and stuff.
Yeah, the Phil one was good. I really love that one too. I don't know what else. What did we do that?
I was pulling them up. That's why the computer froze, because I opened more than one window.
I mean, the 200th episode was pretty fun. Like, we actually got a good amount of people popping into that one. Like it was, like it was long, but it was fun. It was like, it was like hanging out with friends, and I mean that's what this whole thing is about. Like we're reaching people and like jumping into their conversations. I mean, when I'm listening to podcasts that I'm not on or affiliated with, I'm always like, I feel like I'm in the room hanging with those people. So in that case, I hang out with Tony Hawk and Jay Thomas all the time.
Exactly. Me too. I'm right there with you. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and that one, like you say, in the 200th one, doing that live thing, I don't know if I would do that again, but at the same time, it was awesome to do something in real time and just give everybody, it was more just for scheduling. It's like, this is when it's happening. So it actually worked out good that way, and saw some familiar faces and a few that I actually hadn't kind of had one-to-one contact with before, so that was really awesome. And I like that a lot too, so that was cool. And just as far as actual guests, we had Scott and Mike, John, we had the Ian episode, and Tom and Christian, but those are always nice when we have just full-on direct guest on the show. And try to do more of that, It's easy to just kind of be like, fuck, I gotta do something real quick. Talk about record labels real quick or something, you know what I mean? But so it'd be fun to get those in. But a lot of cool, weird stuff. Being technically the 7th year of this thing going, it's cool that there's no real obvious panic of shortage of ideas, so that's kind of cool. And first full year of having Antonio on board with us, so that's been awesome. Thank you. I always just try to grab whoever we can for each episode, but it's been nice just throwing you in there and really adding a lot to the show. So I appreciate you, man. So
it's been great. It's like for me, I was doing it solo, and you guys were just kicking ass at also doing it, and I was like, man, I don't even want to like kind of compete with this. I just want to be involved in it, so it just made sense. And now it's like I love the fact that we're get to talk Cure all the time and nerd out with other people, but we're also just it's friends that we're always reaching out to, and it's it's the beauty of this in this technology world is that it's like I connect with you guys more than people I've got in my town. So
Right.
it's pretty amazing what like you gotta take the good with the bad. So it's like
For sure.
we got allies and friends out of it.
Exactly. Cool. Well, yeah, it seems like the reaction's been very in favor of you too, and everybody's really loves what you add to the show from what I've heard. So I think that's cool, man. So thank you.
Not pissing too many people
No,
off.
haven't
like
got
some
one-
other former people.
Not one complaint. It's really refreshing.
Not even all the shit I talk about Morrissey.
No, you get more support.
No,
from
they were
that.
used to that.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. So I guess onward to the future is more, I don't like to dwell in the past. So I guess as far as possible ideas, I always mention our notebook that I write shit down, and then I just sometimes I sit in there for a couple years. Sometimes we do it the next week. But like I said, the Roger solo album, rest of the world tour coverage is bound to happen, right? So new album. So there's a lot that could definitely, as far as anniversaries, we really kind of latched onto those and took advantage of those in the last couple of years because they are a good excuse to talk about the albums again and get refreshed ideas and stuff. But there's not really too many anniversaries coming up for 2023. We got the 40th of Japanese Whispers, or the Walk/Love Cat singles, which, that's always fun. 30th anniversary of Show in Paris, which might be a cool picture disc record store day. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're the only ones I could think of. It would be something they can milk. As far as just rando topics, in my book I have Peel Sessions. I'd still like to do a topic on that, where we really dive. Drunkest Cure show ever. That's one we've kind of tiptoed around a few times. Where there's a couple of really good bootlegs out there of when Robert was definitely something was kicking in about halfway through the show. And we're like, whoa, he is off his fucking rocker in this one. But always still sounds good, better than most bands, but by Cure standards. So maybe we'll just have a night where we all get super trashed and talk about that. What else we got? More member profiles. We got a few members that we need to cover still. Boris, Michael Dempsey, Roger, a lot of those. Lots of guests I just want to have back on too. So everybody that's been on, pretty much, I don't think we've blacklisted anybody that's been on. But I'm like, definitely don't want that person. Not yet.
Yeah.
So
I was actually thumbing through the Cure FAQ book the other day, and I was like, definitely you should definitely have Christian on again.
Yeah, he's always
like,
fun.
Those conversations could keep going in many, many directions.
Yeah, I want him to talk to you guys too. That's been a lot of them, people I just want to have back on so you guys can talk to them more. They're people I've done on the side or something, so definitely get like a cool topic that we can all nerd out together on. I'd even listed, some of your friends and acquaintances that you had mentioned, Antonio, as far as like...
I got people that are definitely down to do it. So I think once we get past the New Year holiday, we'll start, locking some people in.
Sounds good. Awesome. So I don't know. I guess on top of that, I don't want to dwell on us too much. So I thought it might be fun to round it out by just talking about the year in music and such in general. We always like to just throw out our albums of the year and stuff in this last episode and see what we were kind of digging. You guys got your albums in mind and stuff? What have you... Who gets the honors this year? So what did you got?
So first one I think is kind of this is no particular order. I'm just shooting off like ones that were I think really hit me. But this one is interesting, and Gavin, you're gonna be probably more keen on this one here.
Cool.
Out of the 3 albums that this artist put out this year,
dun, dun.
And you probably already know who it is. Ryan Adams dropped 3 full lengths this year, and my favorite of the 3, the one that I listened to the most, was Chris.
Okay, cool.
And it was, I think, for me as a fan of him, and being a singer-songwriter at one point in my life, this was a huge step for him, I think, really just getting back to his roots as a singer-songwriter. I think the songs on this record, I think, were the most cohesive out of the albums. I think when you're shitting out songs like that, it's very easy to put out albums that kind of don't feel cohesive. And the other ones had good songs on them, but this one as a whole album seemed like he was back.
Right on.
And he was back at doing what he does, you know, best, and got to see him live this year. And here's, you know, a couple of these songs live.
Yeah.
So that definitely made my list, because the fact that he dropped out 3 in 1 year, you know, was
Pretty
just
impressive. I mean,
a massive. I mean, just writing enough songs to put out blows my mind.
Yeah, like Devolver was actually on my list because I like that one. It was a little more rocking and stuff, and just a little weirder, you know. And
yeah, like I said, I liked that one, but as the whole album, I think Chris kind of hit me.
Yeah, and
the next record on here that is one that, you know, just recently came out but still hit me, was a band called LS Dunes, which is kind of a super group if you're into the genre of music that these bands come from. It is pretty fucking awesome. I actually got to see them live a couple weeks ago. I'm here in Brooklyn.
Cool.
And it's Anthony Green of Seosin and Circus Survive and Sounds of Animals Fighting and a million other bands singing. And then you've got the drummer and bass player of Thursday, the one guitar player from My Chemical Romance, and one guitar player from Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and it's literally what you think all of those bands meshed together would sound like in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's not leaning too much in any direction of any of them. And what I thought was fucking rad is that this year I took my son to see My Chemical Romance because he loves them at a giant fucking arena. And then months later, I was seeing LS Dunes in a small room, 300 people, and Frank just fucking going crazy on stage when he just left doing like stadiums all year.
Right on.
You know, and loving it like he was loving being on the stadiums. You know, and being from the Northeast and watching My Chemical Romance rise, you know, whether you like them or not, like what they did coming out of the scene, and they never sounded like any other band. Yeah. And I'm just happy they doing what they did, you know, doing what they love and how they wanted to do it. So kudos to them. And it's like I'll never knock anyone for just doing things that they want to do. Yeah. I'll knock the shit out of people that are just ripping off other bands, right. But that's not the case, you know. So it was really cool to see him in those two different areas. And then Soft Kill, Canary Yellow, is a beautiful piece of melancholy music perfection. You know, as I'm sure Chaz might be on his list as well. But you know, got to see them, you know, this year, and my love for that band has just continued to grow and grow. So that totally made my list. I'm still waiting for my vinyl that I pre-ordered. So if you guys are listening, get that shit out because I'm pretty pumped on it. Also, Night Sins, a band from Philly, called their album Violent Age is great. I saw them this year. I actually got to see them with House of Harm, our buddy Mike's band, at St. Vitus in Brooklyn. They were great. That album is fan-fucking-tastic. And then my top two, the Sweet Kill, Darkness album, is, you know, I know I kind of sent some of that stuff to you, Gavin. That record, I still haven't stopped listening to it, and I've been listening to it all year. It came out early in the year. And it's still just hitting like a motherfucker. But I think the most impactful record / even new band I've heard in the longest time, saw them live after only hearing 1 or 2 songs because my wife was like, hey, our friend Steve is in town, he wants to see this band, do you want to go? And I'm like, babe, what have I ever said no about going to live music? It's literally fucking what I do for a living. So we went to see this band called Waltz Disco.
Disco?
Yes, Walt like Disney,
Right,
disco like the 70s.
nice.
And um this band, God, I don't even know where to start as far as influences. I mean, it's like you're watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show mixed with the New York Dolls, mixed with Queen. I mean, it's just fucking the most original band I have heard in the longest fucking time. Um, you
Wow.
know,
Yeah, that
the
sounds.
yeah, they and not only that, but I mean, in this fucked up world that we live in, where people are homophobic and they're trying to fight trans rights and homosexuality and everything else. This band that has got a trans singer dancing all over the fucking stage like a fucking diva. They're amazing. They put on such a great live show, and they had not slept in 30 something hours when I saw them.
Wow.
They literally had been traveling, to America, to New York, took the subway to the show, and fucking blew my mind for like 40 minutes.
Awesome.
So, yeah, the record is so good. Every time, it's some of the catchiest stuff I've heard in a long time. So,
Sweet.
if they ever come across hearing this, you guys are amazing, and they do an Elvis Presley cover too on the record, which is pretty rad.
What song?
I'm gonna make you go listen to it.
Okay.
I don't want to tell the world because I want literally I want everyone to go
find
stream
it.
this record.
Okay, yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll link all these on our Facebook page too, so that'll be cool.
And then I got to give a shout out to the House of Harm's single that they dropped this year for their
Yeah.
upcoming record. Feel My Heartbeat is I was telling Mike, and I'm like, if you guys drop that album this year, it's probably like you guys might shoot past like an up into my number one, but
Yeah.
The Cure's still been number one for the past like 4 years running for me on Spotify. So that's not changing anytime soon. But
Right on.
yeah, I can't wait for their new record to come out this year.
Yeah, it's definitely one to anticipate for sure. Cool, man. It's a solid list. Yeah, I'll check a lot of those out. I haven't heard. That'd be cool. What you got, Chaz?
Very cool. So these aren't in any order or anything, and I didn't listen to a ton of new music this year. But yeah, Canary Yellow by Soft Kill is right up there on top of the list. Only listened to it probably about 5 or 6 times already, but I love it. I believe it's all about Chicago, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Just like RIP was about Portland. So that's pretty cool. The next album is by a band from Australia called Camp Cope. Their album, I've recommended them before on here, but their new album, Running with the Hurricane, came out this year. I really like it. Let's see what else I have up here. Alien Boy, that band that went out on tour with Soft Kill, did a single called Wondering Still. I guess it's like an EP, I guess if you want to count it as that. And then this Richmond, Virginia, I don't know, screamo punk band from like the late 90s I was really into, called City of Caterpillar. They put out a new album this year, the first time in a long time, and which is really cool because I got back into them earlier this year and I have like all their vinyl and but downloaded all their discography and just listened to it during baseball practice when my son was doing baseball, and I was just like, oh man, I fucking love these guys. I can't believe I haven't listened to them so long. And then out of nowhere I see that they dropped a new album, and I don't even know the last one they did was, but yeah, I was very happy, so to say the least. But yeah, I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else. But yeah, and then some movies, and that's about it. So
right on. Do you have a number one movie?
Probably Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Okay, yeah.
It's probably my favorite. Trying to think what else there was. I like The Northman. That was kind of weird. That was the beginning of the year, though. I went by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just a lot of pretty good movies this year that I saw, but I would probably say that one probably had the biggest impact
Cool.
on me. I don't know if you guys seen it yet or not.
Nah, heard
No,
lots
I
about
Oh
it.
haven't.
man, such a
I
good
can,
movie.
Yeah.
I would
it's
recommend
on
everybody
my
go see it.
list.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah,
but
I think
yeah.
mine had to be Terrifier too.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm a sucker for fucking slashers, and it was the most bloodiest slasher film I've ever seen in my fucking entire life.
Nice.
Did you see X? It just came out
No,
this year, dude. You got to
no,
see that.
yeah,
That that's a
So like
really good one. That's like a 1979's group of teenagers go out to shoot a porno film at this
yeah, no, I
cabin.
saw the whole
Yeah.
premise. I'm like,
Oh,
I need to
so
fucking
good.
I need to check it out.
Definitely one of
But
my
actually,
favorite horror movies. Yeah.
speaking of new music too, I got to give a shout out to Elliot Fullman. He's one of the actors in Terrifier 2. He's
Okay.
actually a singer songwriter, and I did a little pop up Pass Blue Ribbon event at a record store where he played acoustic with my buddy Artie
Mm,
Shepard. The kid's
very
great.
cool.
He's
Cool.
really influenced by Elliott Smith, so he's like that very like somber singer songwriter, and
Yeah.
he's fucking 18 and he's got like it's really good. So yeah, check
Yeah.
out his stuff for sure.
Awesome.
Very cool.
We
Yeah,
just
and
like
then
streamed a lot of like shows this year. Like
Yeah.
for me, like
Yeah.
movies took a back seat this year. I think it's because it's like it's also just even getting to the movies is a fucking chore. And I think
Yeah.
before COVID, like it was more like normal. We're gonna go to the
Mhm.
movies, and now it's like it's so far in the back of my mind, like it's
Yeah.
like
Well, nothing
that and the
comes
fact
out
that
anymore.
yeah, and then the
Yeah.
fact that
I know, it's
the
like-
Marvel movies have been really shitty now too. So it's like I used to be at all the opening of those, and now I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to movies like at least once a week, if not more, like before I had kids, and then like
Yeah.
it's like one of my favorite things. And like we saw Violent Night the other night, which was awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to
Um,
see that. Yeah, I'm waiting to see that
fucking
with my little guy.
Is that the
great fucking
ridiculous
Christmas
Santa
movie.
movie with dude
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Dude,
like,
it was
what
so
the fuck
good.
is this?
It was so
Yeah,
good.
so my buddies that do the Red River podcast were just saying, they saw it and they were kind of diving into, and they like know someone who worked on they know someone who knows someone that worked on the screenplay, and apparently when they really went to go write this, it was based off that argument, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? So they almost were like, no, we're gonna purposely make a Christmas movie that's fucking Die Hard, like
well,
and you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So that whole premise was based off of that whole, thing
Yeah.
that people always talk about. And I was like, oh, that's fucking great. Like, that's a good way to go into writing a screenplay.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, it has all the elements of Christmas in it, and the messaging in it, but it's just ultra violent, gory, and insane, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
it's
it
great.
seems like-
So,
Yeah, we're gonna try to see it this weekend.
Consciously over
Oh.
the top for sure. It's
oh
just
yeah,
like,
100%. I loved it.
Yeah.
So,
I might try to do
but,
it on Saturday because Sunday I got to get up early and watch the World Cup.
Yeah.
but what about you, Gavin? What are your?
Yeah, not too much. Let's see. I guess as far as Spoon, I like that one a lot. That was I always like my ones I have to give the top honors to. They're the surprise factor more to. Like I'm always gonna kind of like my faithfuls, but like Spoon was a band I always kind of liked, in the early 2000s or whatever, but was never.
Oh yeah, they
Super-
dropped the record this year.
Yeah, and it's fucking great. It was really like
Damn, I
really
gotta check
surprised
that
by
out.
it. Most specifically that single "Wild," and a lot of my praise for bands is like I kind of make my favorite songs. A lot of it was just like full on singles I loved, So I'll put like even the link
Yeah.
to my playlist for the singles. I had like just tons of shit on there that was like cool one-off singles, but that whole album was really great, and it was cool. We got to see them live and take Henson to the show and stuff. It was them in Interpol, so that was cool. And dude, just and they're one of those bands too.
Oh,
You
nice.
realize how many cool songs they have when they put them all together at a live show. It was very like
Yeah,
kind of Cure-esque in the sense it was like, oh yeah, and that one, and that one, and that one, and it was like, oh shit, yeah, I totally enjoyed every song. So that was cool. Again, speaking of Ryan Adams. That Devolver one I kind of liked because it was weird. Had a few just kind of cool rock ones that seemed a little different. Even though I like the select songs of the more straight up singer songwriter stuff on the other billion records he put out or whatever. But so that one had to get my praise. My friend Ryan even he put out a home recorded album. It's called Different Drum, but he doesn't cover Different Drum on it. It's just a really good batch of songs. I co-wrote 2 of them with him though, so I don't think that technically counts, but it's really good. Those songs, whatever, because I was involved, but he is just one of my favorite songwriters as a friend even, and I don't know, I anticipate his recordings more than a lot of bands that I love, so I think it's a legit fandom too, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I've got that too. I've got like my buddy Artie, like his band Aerotype 11. Every time they do a reunion, and I'm like singing in the front, like a fan. It's like one of these weird things because it's like we're friends, and like it's my boy, but I'm also like I take that hat off when like I'm listening to like his music, and I'm like, no, I'm a fucking fan. Right. And then after the fact, it's like we're friends.
Yeah, and I'm sure I love him more because I know the dude and stuff, but at the same time, it's like. Because it's you listen to your friends' musics and stuff. Sometimes you have to like be like, yeah, it's fucking cool, but like it's so much nicer when it's sincere, and you're like, no, I legit love this, and I really dig that. So that was cool. Different Drum. He hadn't put one out in a while too, so that was cool that he did that. And then my top 2, I guess the ultimate top one was an EP, so I couldn't give it the top ultimate honor. It was that Jenny Owens Young I was telling you about when we did an episode together. It came out pretty early in the year, but that one's just been it's cool because I love a concept. It's a concept EP, so it's a little smaller concept, but it's all based on video games. So there's like a Mario one, there's a Zelda Breath of the Wild song. But like you wouldn't really know it if you just heard the songs. Like she'll just kind of drop like a little reference. Skyrim, is that like a game or some shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know anything about games, but that's one of them, and it's really cool. It's called "It's Dangerous to Go Alone." I don't recall off the top of my head who the dude that she co-wrote them with and stuff, but it's just really good songs, like super catchy. And she's had cool stuff in the past, but I was never like super huge fan where I loved everything she did or anything, but so I was like, these songs are great, just keep listening to them. The one has like a little like kind of like Pac-Man sample in it too, like it'll be like something like that, or just throws in like one little part where you're like, oh yeah, if somebody tells you that it's like a reference to video game songs, then you catch it all, but otherwise you wouldn't even know. Awesome. Jenny Owen Young's, and then I guess my number one has to be our local band here, Asheville, Secret Shame, put out a full album just a couple months ago, and it's awesome, called Autonomy. A couple of the singles had come out, like maybe even by the end of last year. It's one of those ones they've been kind of gradually hinting at and putting singles out throughout the year, but then the full album came out, and it's just fucking cool. It's a little more aggressive than the last ones and stuff, but definitely has like some good Susie and the Banshee flavors and everything that Cure fans love thrown in there. Times it gets a little more rockin', maybe than the last one, but in still like a very cool like 90s way with lots of good feedback and stuff, and howling, and her just fucking purging all her like personal demons and shit. You could tell there's some heavy shit coming out in the lyrics, or I'm like, whoa.
Yes, send me a link to that. I want to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. And they just wrapped up a big old tour, and seem to be getting a lot of good press and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if they move on away from little old Asheville soon, but we'll be proud of them from forever. But, I'll give them the top honors this year, and they seem like they deserved it for sure. And they had so many of those singles that, still are the standout tracks, I think, that I'd already kind of heard well in advance, but as a full album, it definitely takes a whole new shape once you hear it, it's like... Which I hope those Cure ones will do. So I guess as far as stuff that hasn't been released, that's my favorite. I guess I have to be a nerd and say the 5 unreleased Cure songs.
I listened to a shit ton of new music this year, but not just new music like the albums came out, but like discovered a lot of like new bands.
Yeah.
I think I was like really like I really was seeking out music, and I think a lot of that also was that awkward frustration that I wasn't getting the new album out of the band that I wanted, that
Yeah.
we're all here talking about.
Exactly. Cool. Well, I guess we'll start to wind down, but I also wanted to just plug and say congrats to you guys and the idea of creativity this year and just your other projects that you've done. And, Chaz, with your Excommunication Station podcast has been a huge
Thank you.
highlight of my podcast listening this year for sure. And Antonio with your music and Nobody Speaks podcast. I'm not sure if you're going to continue that going. And
It's just been like I've actually put so much into like my new job and my new music that for me to keep, I was able to release like 6 songs with a brand new project this year where I write, record all of it, so and do all of it myself. So it's like that kind of took a back burner, So cult leader was definitely my focus this year, and I think I'm very happy with where that stuff is going musically, and getting a lot of positive feedback. Played a couple live shows, looking forward to doing more. I got a couple more songs like in the pocket ready to go.
Awesome.
So
We'll put links for that. People should check it out if they haven't already, because again, it's so nice when it's like legit awesome music, and I can be like, yes, listen to this. It sounds great.
As I'm like writing and rough mixing stuff, I like to send it to you to
I always love hearing works in progress.
How does it sound?
For sure.
Yeah, you and my buddy Sam are like my go-to with like, does this sound okay?
Cool. Anytime. And seriously, Chaz, I'm loving your podcast, and I hope it seems like it's getting lots of great momentum and stuff. If it's on people's radar, they should definitely check it out if they haven't already. I have a feeling everybody here probably has, but
I hope so. But it's grown a lot faster and a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Cool.
And we get messages all the time that keep us going for what we're doing, and helping people and having fun at the same time.
It's been very therapeutic for me.
Thank you.
Like, I mean, I got to be on there with you, and we kind of talked a little bit about some stuff, but as I listen more, and as like I just grow further and further away from that traumaticness that we kind of lived, it's helped me definitely like move past a lot of that stuff. So I'm sure it's doing that for other people. So I'm hoping maybe this year get back on there and talk some more with you guys, because I've had more eye-opening, even since we first spoke.
It's been very interesting, and to do something that is like, I don't know, there's more people that listen to that than any church I ever went to, so it's kind of
it's pretty rad.
By a lot. It kind of blows me away. So we have some stuff coming in the new year. We're hopefully gonna launch a Patreon and do some stuff with that, and I'm writing an episode about Jerry Falwell and Hustler magazine.
Right.
So when he sued Hustler, nice. So that should be fun. We don't do all serious topics all the time, so we try to have some fun here and there. So
did you do a lot of research on that one?
Oh yeah, I'm still working on it. Right now I'm through the first couple of years of the Hustler magazines, but it's going to take me a while to get to the 1980s. I'm still stuck in the 70s, working away on it. Nice. Page by page.
Page by page. Well,
you can do it. I believe in you.
Awesome.
But thank you very much, and I appreciate everybody that listens. And so it's been fun, and then the T-shirt stuff has been cool too.
I was gonna ask about that too. It's going good, and
it was a slower year. Transitioned with my wife into. She started a new career, and I went back to work more, and it's kind of taken up my time, but I've still been able to do it, and I like a lot of the stuff that's come out this year. The next thing up is the Susie and the Banshee shirt. which I had already planned before she announced that she was going on tour.
Yeah, I was like, man,
So,
you're just
I was
capitalizing
like,
on
son
that
of a
real
bitch.
quick.
Yeah, you better
Swoop
better
it
get that
in.
up quick before everyone else does.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck, so I was
Awesome.
really hoping she'd take off again after she was on the Stranger Things,
Yeah.
but she didn't get the Kate Bush bump.
Nah,
But
but you know,
No.
that's kind
but
of
yeah,
cool if it's the next level, right?
but thank you, appreciate it, Gavin.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. Yeah, and definitely not a day goes by where somebody isn't wearing one of your shirts here in our house between me and Ed's. Somebody, we were walking into the post office today, and I had my hoodie on, and he has
Yeah.
his tie-dye shirt. And he's like, "Oh man, they're gonna think we're total Cure nerds." I was like, "We are Cure nerds." And I was like, "I
Yeah,
take my
yeah,
hoodie
like-
off, but I'm wearing one of your shirts under it, so that it was we're doubled up." So yeah, so.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, we'll let these good people go, and you guys as well. I think that covers everything in 2022. I think 2023 is going to be the shit, So I'm still sticking to that, even though it's been a decent year. We're all still here.
Well, I was gonna say, I think there's a positive trajectory. You know what I mean? Like as
Yeah.
opposed to being sucked into the fucking abyss.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've been down in the fucking toilet for a while now, so we're crawling. We're pretty much all
Yeah.
out, hopefully. But who knows?
Yeah, there's positive signs going forward.
You
Music
never-
is relatively back. Just everybody needs to stay safe and get boosted and everything so it can
Yeah.
continue. And there's a new album that's already been written, it seems like. So,
Mhm.
and, we have stuff to look forward to. So
Exactly. So.
a lot more. I feel a lot better going into this year than I think last year.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
kind of my point too. Yeah, I was just kind of like, cautiously optimistic. We'll see where it goes. But so we'll see what happens, man, and we'll catch these good people on the other side, and hopefully have some good wish talk coming up real soon. So,
Absolutely.
all right,
All right, everybody.
for the
Thanks
year.
for a great year, everyone.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody for listening out there. We'll do a great big talk hard and see you around. Woo! Happy New Year!